Hi there, Jason here from Custom Cans, and I'm going to do a little review today for very similar headphones, just go through the differences between them, used by professional DJs, because we just had some new ones in and I thought I'd go through, explain the differences between them. So I'm going to start off with the Sennheiser HD25. Most of you have probably come across these before. They are kind of Genesis. They've been around for 25 years now and they haven't changed much because they got it right first time. They're very good, very lightweight, very durable. We sell hundreds and hundreds of pairs of these, and you know, it's very, very, very rare. I think we maybe had 2 in the past 4 years that have gone wrong. So I'd say they're very durable. The other good thing is that all the parts are replaceable, so you can buy new cables, new pads, new headband, new ear cups. It's all user replaceable. You just need a small screwdriver. They're done. They are renowned for their flat response, which is why they've been so popular. So you don't get lots of boomy bass or very sibilant sort of hissy treble. It's just like a nice flat response across the board. They're great for monitoring. They're originally designed for use on monitoring with caravan and things like that. And often, if you watch in the background BBC, the cameramen and soundmen nearly all got these on. So they are the original and still the most popular ones we do. Then, sort of last year, maybe a year and a half ago, I got to have a play with these, the Beyerdynamic DT1350. And these are, again, very similar to the HD25 in the look. They've got split headband again, like the HD25, and one ear swivel, both ears actually swivel on these, but yeah, so you can do one-ear monitoring, which is quite nice when you've got the one like that for when you're mixing. But straight, these are more expensive. The standard HD25 start from 139, the Pro ones are 159. DT1350s are 229 they start from. So quite a bit more expensive, but these have got Beyerdynamic's new Tesla drivers, very fancy drivers, very high magnetic flux, gives them a lot of detail. But when I heard these, I realised that for years I thought you couldn't get any better than the HD25. Then I heard those and I thought, oh, actually, yeah, I've been missing out for quite a long time. There's a lot of parts of the music that you can just hear with these that you can't hear with the HD25s. They don't have as much bass. If you go from the HD25s to these, you'll think, oh, where's the bass, until you get used to it. And then yes, it's very rewarding. They drop down really low, you know, when you're listening to frequencies around 20 Hertz and stuff, and still maintain lots of detail, so you can hear lots of detail right below end. Great if you're listening to dubstep, that kind of thing, all the really textured, gritty sounds sound loads better with the DT1350, but they are lacking a bit of bass. I have for a while been thinking of opening these up and doing a couple of bass mods like they do on the Grados, but I haven't actually got around to it yet. They don't have detachable cable and replaceable parts very easily. Like, you can buy the parts from Beyerdynamic, but you need a soldering iron to get into them. It's not just a screwdriver job. And but they do come with a nice case, cable tidy adapter. They've even got an airplane adapter for use in the headrests on aeroplanes. So that's the DT1350. Then after playing with those, I thought possibly the HD25 had more to offer. So a lot of tinkering. We came up with these, which are the Uber version of the HD25s. And basically we've done loads of modifications to these. So we've improved the damping in the ear cup to absorb more of the sound inside, and taken out the felt disc to give them a slightly bigger enclosure, which makes them sound a bit more open. They've got mass-loaded drivers, because much the HD25s are lovely and light. The lightness works against them in a little way, because some of the energy from the diaphragm is going into rattling the casing rather than producing sound. So we've added weight behind the driver with lead in strategic places, reduced the bass port slightly just so they're a little bit less boomy, and those are kind of, I'd say, somewhere in between the DT1350 and the HD25. So you get more bass with these, probably you get still nice flat response, but you get more detail at the low end, so they're less boomy. You can hear more texture in the bass. They've also got a silver cable, SPC cable. These are hand braided by Joe here, and I make him make cables all day. But yeah, they're really nice cables. We've got really good reviews on these. Sell quite a lot of them, even though they're relatively expensive. But they are quite a step up from the steel cable, which the HD25 had originally. The steel cable, they use that for its high tensile strength, so when cameramen and stuff, if the camera falls over, it's not going to snap the cable. You can still carry on working, but it's not the best for sound, because steel has obviously got much higher resistance than copper, and then silver, lower resistance again, so that's that's quite a nice little upgrade. But Sennheiser have come back with a vengeance. They released the Ampere probably a year or so ago, which was designed for sort of the iPod generation, low impedance 18 ohm drivers, which made them great for working with iPods and things. Didn't drain your battery as much, and they had a little remote. But some people, you know, it was touch and go. Some people preferred the sound of the Amperes, some people preferred the HD25s with their 70 ohm drivers. It kind of depended on what kit you were using. Plugging it into a decent headphone amp or mixer, HD25 maybe a little bit better at some things. But that's when they came up with these ones, which are like a cross between the Ampere and the HD25. They've got the aluminium ear cups from the Ampere, which gives them more weight and rigidity, which again is like the mass loading we did on the Uber version. And that does give you deeper bass. Like I was listening, they're very similar. Like you listen to them and they're very similar, but it's just a little bit warmer and richer, and a bit more detail at the low end with the new aluminium ones. They've also got nicer pads. They feel like real leather as opposed to like synthetic leather. I can hold these up, you might be able to see. But yeah, they're nicer pads, which are more like memory foam. So a bit like on the HD25-1, which have got the memory foam pads. And they've also got slightly fatter head pads. A bit more comfortable basically, but they are a bit heavier. Not much, but a bit heavier. And they've also gone for a straight jack, which I'm a little bit disappointed with, because I find a right angle jack is much better if you're using it for pro use, because you haven't got the cable poking out for you to knock into, and it's a bit harder to pull out by accident. These also come with a nice little case. Probably not as nice as the DT1350 case, but it's it's better than the case you get with the HD25s. All the accessories for the HD25s, like all the different cables you can get, will fit these, which is nice. And cost-wise, standard HD25 start from 139. The Uber ones that we make are 200 for a plain pair, plain black pair, about 260 if you want them all painted up. These are going to be 209 or 260 if you want them all painted up, but yeah, 209 for the plain ones. Because they're aluminium, we've got a laser engraver here. We could probably engrave initials and stuff for the 209 if you just want basic initials on there, which is a little bit more than most places can do. And then obviously the DT1350s are the most expensive ones at 229, but they have got some fancy drivers. But yeah, it's about what you like. If you like a brighter, more detailed sound, DT1350 is probably the way to go. If you want slightly warmer sound, I like these HD25 Aluminiums. Just show you the ear cups just before I finish this video, just because it is quite impressive, because they're aluminium, but most places might have gone, you press it out of aluminium, like press tin or whatever, but for some reason Sennheiser have gone all the way and actually machine them out of a solid block of aluminium. So in there you can see the machining marks. So yeah, they just take a big block of aluminium, mill it all away, and that's probably why they cost so much. These things must cost quite a lot to get made. There's a lot of work that goes into those. And inside these, yeah, you've got a little bit of damping and stuff in there. I haven't really fiddled around with modding these much because they only came in a couple of days ago, but yeah, they are high quality pair of headphones. So if you have any questions or anything, just drop us a message or give us a shout. As you're probably aware, I've had all of these apart and know them inside out. So yeah, if you have any questions, I can probably help you out with them. And yeah, enjoy it. And obviously, I'd like it if you buy some of us. That'd be nice. But if not, just ask some questions. Right, cheers.